What's going on, guys? Today's video we're going to be doing a full in-depth review on my brand new Kiesel A2. So without further ado, let's get into it. So really awesome guitar. I'll be sure to go over the full specs and all details here momentarily. I've had a little bit of time to spend with this guitar for about the past couple months, and I've really just been enjoying playing it. The guitar has treated me quite well. Great quality, great fit and finish, and I'm really happy with my purchase. Now, before we get too far into this, there's just something that I want to kind of get out of the way. Now, if you've already decided that prior to you clicking on this video or browsing different content on the internet, if you've already made the decision that you just hate Kiesel guitars, or you don't like them, or you have some type of problem just with the brand as a whole, hey man, to each their own. That's cool. It's a free country. You decide if you want to go with something else, go with something else, man. We don't have to be best friends. It's all right. But what we're not going to do is we're going to have just irrational hostility in the comment section, people throwing tantrums just because they did a random Google search from a couple years ago about maybe a negative experience with the brand, and then from here on out we're just going to go and just spam negativity on any and every single video of a person such as myself, random dude on the internet, just talking about their positive experience and actually enjoying their guitar from Kiesel. So just wanted to get that out of the way. And I should also fully disclose that this is in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Kiesel guitars. This is not a sponsored video. This is a guitar I purchased with my own hard-earned money. So I'm not getting paid to say this. This is strictly my personal ownership of this instrument, just sharing my experiences. So just want to get that out of the way. So for some of you guys that may not know, Kiesel revamped their entire lineup in 2015. They rebranded from the previous name under Carving Guitars. They restructured all of their new models, made a lot of improvements to their product lineup, so on and so forth. And when the first model hit the scene, it was called the Kiesel Aries. So this model, being the A2, stands for the Aries 2. So this is essentially the next in line just to provide more revisions, more updates, some better ergonomics from the original Kiesel Aries. Some of those updates being, we have a slightly smaller, more compact body shape. This also was the first model to get their updated, revised neck heel, so a little bit more comfortable. The way they've shaved that angle down ever so slightly, it does make it a lot more comfortable. Obviously, you can see there's the neck joint on the back. It's very easy to play. It's no problem kind of getting all the way up in the upper frets, so really nice improvement there. It also has a much less exaggerated bevel on the top. I know when the original Aries came out, that was one area where a lot of people were like kind of, I don't know, man, it's such an extreme bevel. It's just a little bit strange. Sometimes when you do an upgraded top, you're just giving away so much of that body. You're just taking away the ability to really showcase an upgraded top or finish when you have such a massive bevel. So, of course, unless you're going to do a bevel delete on the original Aries, I feel like the A2 is just better in a lot of ways because you're getting to see a lot more of the upgraded top or like a special custom shop finish such as this. Something else really cool about the A2, this has a standard feature which is called the access jack. So as you can see, that is something that you could plug the output jack either from the back or on the side. So it's actually got both. You can see it's got one here and one on the back. So depending if you're sitting, standing, whatever the case may be, you have the options to go both ways. I really think this is a nice way to just really give people the best of both worlds and, again, better ergonomics. So going over the specifications for this A2, we've got a 25.5-inch scale length. We've got a lightweight swamp ash body. This one has a upgraded 5A flame maple top in a custom shop finish done by Jeff. This finish is called Venom. It's kind of like a sort of a yellow gold denim sort of burst. I think it looks pretty cool. Some guys, maybe it's not your favorite. All good. Doesn't have to be your favorite, but it is definitely, in fact, my favorite. We've got a 3-piece maple walnut neck, All Kiesel models do come with the carbon fiber reinforcements in the neck, so super stable. Locking tuners on that one as well to match the flame maple top. This one does have a flame maple fingerboard, so just consistently just all flamed as far as like the front side of the guitar, so pretty cool. I've never been a fan of tone knobs, so you can see this one just has one single volume knob. Yeah, just one less knob out of the way, and less hardware, less buttons, switches to fiddle with. Hey, just more simplistic, and we see, of course, more of the finish and the top. Hip shot, fixed bridge. This one's got the lithium pickups in the black version. I've never been a fan of like the front facing like fretboard inlays. I know for some people that's kind of an issue, but for me, I've just always kind of just trained myself to kind of look more on the side profile to follow those side dots. I know sometimes, again, at least for me, if I rely too heavily on looking at the fretboard markers themselves, I tend to kind of have, I have a little bit of a tendency to kind of hunch over and find myself just looking over the neck, as opposed to sitting up a little straighter and just kind of focusing on that side edge to follow the dot inlays. Yeah, so overall, super, super awesome guitar. This one is a really lightweight piece of swamp ash. It's also a chambered body, if I didn't already mention that. So it only comes in at around 6.3 pounds. So super comfortable, super lightweight. The way Kiesel does a lot of their models, again, that A2, it's got that really nice bevel on the top, very comfortable carve as well, like on the back. So it's very comfortable, just the way the guitar like sits against your body. So very, very ergonomic. This is definitely something where I feel like the entirety of the brand, they really do have a consistent focus on ergonomics. So as you guys know, if you've seen a lot of my videos, that's a huge thing for me. Now you do have options as far as fret size. You can either do their regular stainless, medium jumbo, or a larger jumbo fret wire. I like the medium jumbo. For me, it's just a good place to be. It doesn't feel like I'm so far away from the fretboard as often case maybe with some of the taller fret wires. Just like anything else, guys, it's really gonna boil down to personal preference. So do your research, make sure you have a pretty good understanding as far as like your expectation as far as fret size. But again, for me, I'm a pretty happy camper with the medium jumbos. I just love the way that blue turned out on the back. I mean, it's just so interesting, like such a rich blue. I think that swamp ash is definitely going to be your best particular body wood if you're going to get a venom finish. So as far as overall quality, craftsmanship, fit and finish, all that kind of stuff, absolutely flawless fretwork. I'm extremely pleased with what we've got on this particular model. I always know that some guys are a little bit critical when it comes to looking at fretwork. There's obviously different quality standards depending on what kind of brands you're looking at. I know typically a lot of the import brands can be a little shaky when it comes to some fretwork for some of the guys that are looking at guitars overseas. I think one area where Kiesel has really worked to continually improve their products. I think they do a great job with their fretwork. No sharp fret tangs, no edges that are rough or sticking out, anything like that. So I'll definitely say I'm very well pleased with the fretwork. So far, I found the tuning stability is pretty great on this one. Anytime you've got the carbon fiber rods, just providing more stability, less likely for the neck to bow or twist. I've always been a fan of multi-piece necks. I do think that just with the process that Kiesel has in place, you guys can see all of their factory tours, their FAQ videos. I think they've really perfected the process as far as building stable necks. So if you want more information, be sure to, of course, check out their videos. But I've had no problems with this guitar. I find that tuning is not a problem at all. So whether you go with a 1-piece or a 5-piece, 3-piece, 7-piece neck, whatever the case may be, I think you're gonna be totally fine. I always just kind of go the extra step. I do like the idea of having a multi-piece, so I went with a 3-piece walnut maple. In my mind, I always think about if you had one piece of wood, wanted to move, at least you have 2 or more other pieces to like counteract that. So I'm pretty happy with the 3-piece walnut maple on this particular A2. I think if you're a person that if you like a smaller, compact body shape, if you've owned any of like their headless models, I think the A2 kind of hits the sweet spot in a lot of ways. If you take a look at the body, You have the upper side is a little bit more of like that traditional shape with that horn. And then on the lower end of the body, you have almost kind of like a headless shape. So in some ways, it is kind of a hybrid model. So if you want a headstock, if you don't want to deal with the somewhat of a hassle that you get with tuning a headless guitar, I think that the A2 is going to be a good place to be as far as a compromise. So you have the ergonomics, you have a lighter, more compact body, and you don't have to deal with the hassle of tuners on the headless bridge. So some of you guys are probably wondering what kind of price point we're looking at for this. If you were to spec everything out under current pricing, this guitar comes in at around $3,500 with the custom shop finish. Anytime you do a Jeff to do finish, just bear in mind that you're going to want to make sure that you are committed to getting an upgraded top. Otherwise, I mean, I can understand he's a busy guy. He has to allocate his time, to be efficient as possible. And for him to, get his hands on it, make the time, make the space for it, he's going to want to showcase you the best possible product. And that, of course, is going to require an upgraded top. So if you're just going to get like a basic, like standard 4A flame, just know that you're not going to be able to get a Jeff to do finish. Now, because I got this guitar during a pick your top session from the last tax season, this normally would be a $500 flame maple top. I actually picked it up for the regular price of $250. So I essentially got a 5A flame for the price of like their standard flame. So I think that's a pretty tremendous value. I mean, I've really looked at a lot of flame maple over the years, and I feel like there's just not that many companies that are going to get you that same level of grade. I mean, when you just really just take a look at like how intense that figuring is on the top. I mean, again, I've seen a lot more expensive guitars out there, and sometimes you're not really getting the best grade of wood, in my opinion. So that's the other thing too, is like when it comes to grading wood, right, it is going to be a bit subjective. Some guys like a very tight flame. Some guys want more of a wider flame, right? So there's all different things that can boil down to individual opinion and taste. But for me, I like this top. I think it's a really, really fine specimen as far as flame maple. So yeah, super, super happy about that. So those are my overall thoughts on the Kiesel A2. I think this is a fantastic model. It does also happen to be the most popular guitar within the Kiesel product lineup. So obviously it stands for good reason. If you want something that's modern, it's comfortable, provides a good versatile platform to use for different genres, I think you're gonna be pretty happy with the A2. You can always capitalize on some savings if you happen to purchase during their sales they have throughout the year. So be sure to keep your eyes open for that. So next time you're thinking about a newer modern guitar, I would definitely consider checking out the A2. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. Lastly, just something to keep in mind if you are going to do a custom shop finish by Jeff, just know that it is going to take longer. He's a busy guy, his services stay in high demand, so it's just going to add a bit more lead time to your build. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an awesome day.